Well, we're in the business of creating awe, and awe is a sound I like to hear every day when people walk through the threshold when they come here. Mission San Juan Capistrano serves the faithful, serves the weary. We serve the educated and the people that are curious-minded. We have students that are fourth grade. About 57,000 fourth graders come here a year, and they take part in our incredible, robust education program called Remember the Builders. They make an adobe brick here, and they learn about the labor of the indigenous people that became baptized and brought into the Catholic Church. So they get empathy for what history required of its time. There's lots of ways that you can interpret the mission site, because in addition to our 6-language audio tour program, we have exhibits, we have art exhibits, and we also just have the pure beauty of the site and the gardens that are active today. So people can come here and decide, I really need a touch-up of my heart, I need a little hope. Maybe they'll go to the chapel, maybe they just want to take in the architecture and have a picnic. There's lots of ways to intersect with the beauty and the history of the site. We're an 18th century site with 21st century expectations for facilities, for interpretation, for inclusivity. So we want to make sure that your experience is something that surprises you and it maybe exceeds your expectations. What's interesting to think about the mission is the same age as the United States of America. We're celebrating our 250th birthday, and so is the country. Over here, we were founded by Spain. First, the indigenous people living on the land, and Spain comes to bring forth the Christian faith, and also to take over territory to make sure that Spain is dominating over other countries. So faith is brought to the site, and we become very productive and prosperous as the 7th of 9 missions founded under Saint Sarah. And then we get the Californio, and Californio comes about in the mid-1800s, and in that period the mission is in decline and ruin, not a practicing Catholic site per se with productivity, but still the Mass is celebrated here. And about 1863, Abraham Lincoln, the president, turns the mission around and says mission is going to be restored and returned to the Catholic Church. In the early 20th century, a priest comes here to die, but he is renewed by the power of the beauty and the majesty of the site. Father O'Sullivan notices swallows come back to Capistrano on his birthday each year, and that's on St. Joseph's Day in March. To celebrate their return and St. Joseph's Day, he ushers in this huge tradition of a community celebration, and that puts the mission in a whole new kind of frame of mind. Today, I would say we're in our preservation period and have expanded beyond the promise of what Father Sarah ever envisioned. The Sarah Chapel is the heart and soul of the mission. It's the original church, truly, in which Father Sarah celebrated Mass. Sarah Chapel has a 450-year-old retablo in it. We would call it a gilded altarpiece, and most people, they'll have a sense of awe when they take a first look at that, because they're not expecting to see something so beautiful and so aged. And we hope that that intersection of their emotions and that awe experience creates a pause or a moment of restoration for their spirit, whether they're Catholic or not. Maybe there'll be a sense of renewal. I used to be a city planner, and Father Sarah to me is the ultimate city planner with faith. So he comes here on the orders of his king and crown and his church, and he establishes the mission organization from Mexico, what is today Mexico, and comes up. San Diego is actually the first mission, and we're the 7th. And in that, he starts bringing new traditions to this land. The productivity of wine for the sacraments. So if you like red wine, if you like wine in California, Catholic Church is probably what brought that for you. If you like red tile roofs and corridors and arches, you can see the legacy of Father Sarah in that. If you use Spanish language in your everyday calling of Mission Viejo or La Zanja or Rio or Mesa Verde, any of that kind of language is what came from the Padres. So it could be argued that not only has faith been delivered as a legacy, of course, in the founding of faith tradition here and throughout the West, but also it could be argued that the context in which we live today is very much still shaped by the legacy of the Father Sarah contribution and the missions as a whole. Most folks don't know that the largest tragedy that happened in Orange County history happened here at the mission in the earthquake of 1812 of a giant, beautiful church called the Great Stone Church. It was made of all stones. So when we walk into the ruins, which still stand today as a reflection of the past, as a reflection of the labor of those baptized Catholics, of the reflection of the loss of life, it's really something that's much more deep and much more meaningful than just looking at a bunch of stones. The juxtaposition of the living, the plants, the flowers, the California poppies, that next to the decaying walls and the arches, I think creates an intersection which people don't expect to have inside. So they're like, wow, I feel something. I wasn't expecting to feel something when I came to the mission. I think that most people misunderstand missions today, and they want to attribute a 21st century standard to an 18th century landmark. But we have to think about history as evolving and understand that we can always do better, and we can always be more inclusive and have even greater services to our public. So I'm really proud that we're not just stuck in one mindset of 1800s, but today we can be a place of peace, education, and inspiration. So our purpose here is to uplift, inspire, impact, and to give people a really good day.